Einstein. Always. I think this is the simplest answer to all of these perceptions and beliefs. Is Einstein's profound statement, and he's got two actually, but energy can't be created or destroyed, only transformed. And so all of this ancestral stuff through our DNA, through our emotional experiences growing up, lives in our body energetically. And we haven't been taught how to access it very well energetically. It comes through emotions, body sensations. A lot of us are empaths. And we've been taught to kind of outthink what we're feeling. But as all energy cannot be created or destroyed, it's universal law. We can't create something new, and we can't destroy something through positive thinking, through affirmations, through all of these things. We have to allow it to transform, which means allow it to move. And this is a lot about my work in Inside Out, where we simply breathe and observe. This is just like the double split experiment, or the movie What the Bleep, for example. When we can sit back and observe without judgment, we can then decide to choose a different reality that we bring into being through our actions. But we don't create enough space. When we don't clean enough space, we're running on autopilot, like zombies. And so to clear out our ancestral patterns, there's ways to go in. There's a lot of different ways that they're getting closer with somatics and IFS and family systems therapy and things like this to recognize, what am I running on autopilot? And some of it can be language-based, but most of it, I call trauma like an energetic stamp. It's this energetic stamp that our nervous system goes, oh my God, like, I don't know what to do with this. I'm in a state of fear. And we were just talking about World War I and World War II, and our families and our ancestors have been through so much shock to our nervous systems. But I'm noticing a massive awakening where we're all going, wait a sec here. Something's not feeling right. And like Andre said, I'm starting to get a lot more clear about what my no is, and to saying no, even though I might be in fear of the outcome, because I'm connected to what gives me life. And I don't know why, comes out of the Industrial Revolution and now the information age. We're just like, go, 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 go. You're a machine. Keep going. And now people are like, actually, no, I can't keep going. I'm going to collapse. I don't want to take another pill to numb myself. I want something different. And I think cleaning starts when we start to choose, I want something different. And I'm willing to have the courage to make that choice based on my own knowing and what gives me life. And we can only know that when we're present to what is going on. And sometimes it takes some cleaning. Like you said, Damon, like the perceptions of reality. Why have we been behaving the way we've been behaving up until now? Why have we done that? And once we understand why, we can choose. And the only way we can do that is to create the space and the time.
And so Damon, I believe, Summer spoke to ancestral healing, and thought I'd pose this back to you. Hopefully your question was answered, though. Summer, of anything that you want to add to this question? You talk about ancestral clearing and that many believe ancestral wounding lies beneath this life's challenges.
Yeah, I mean, we do remember. I'd love to share that DNA video. There's a 2-minute DNA video, because DNA gets transmitted and we think of it very scientifically from our parents, but it's also spiritual and emotional. DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, actually means, rabbi means God in the Semitic languages. Nucleic acid is the fire at the center of our soul. It actually means that God lives in our body. And so our blueprint of how to be a human being and be connected to God is in this conduit that we have and don't know how to operate very well. It's a conduit to source. So I call these our body conduits. And so, really understanding universal law that energy can't be created or destroyed, which also means to me we can't think our way out of something we felt our way into. The mind is a wonderful servant and a terrible master. And this is what we have backwards. We need to clean out. The mind has to know its place, so to speak. Our body is here to bring the spiritual knowledge down into earth. And one of my friends, Chris Roseberg, I think it was Ram Dass, who said, we're all so busy trying to be enlightened and go up versus bringing the light down into our bodies. That's why we're here. It's not about enlightenment, it's about embodiment. And the trick with that is everything in the material world in our body is much slower than insight. When we have an idea, sometimes people don't take it into fruition because of the slowness of putting things into place. And so slowness is so refreshing because our peripheral awareness can open, our heartbeat is slowing down, our breath is slowing down. And literally, I do have a background in vision improvement. Our awareness is no longer tunnel vision. It opens up to a much wider scope. And only through our bodies we then clear the way. We can heal what's there now, and then it's like the trauma of the past and the ancestors never happened. Because we're no longer living it. We're no longer manifesting what that was. And to me, this is what time travel is. It's what ancestral healing is. It's about tuning into the energy that exists now and making space for what it's telling us. I don't know if that's too esoteric and too far out.
Demon
Ah.
says, on ancestral healing, we are riding in on the shoulders of giants. Can be reversed in this case. Yeah, I agree. Maybe our ancestors are riding the
Ah.
shoulders of us. I believe that
Mm.
too. I believe that you know time is a 3D concept of this world, and in the etheric world, there's no concept of time. Everything is happening all at once, and so the work that I do here also heals them and changes time frames for them as well. So absolutely. Mm. Yes, perhaps our ancestors depend on us. Mhm. I believe that too. That the work that we do here ripples out,
Well, and
and
that's Mhm.
so just saying, in a lot of indigenous cultures, they do a lot of rituals and ceremonies to honor their ancestors, right? To provide that healing. Even in my culture, Chinese culture, we offer like fruits in front of the altar, right? It's presence. It's the energy life force that I provide of even thinking about my ancestors and creating space for that. But the work that I do, because I've carried on with what my ancestors have given me, if I'm able to interrupt that pattern, be that generational cycle breaker, then I'm doing my work for my ancestors. I'm doing the work for my soul family. You know. And you were gonna say something?
Yeah, was gonna say a lot of people are a little more sensitive to these days. There's a lot of esoteric readers and spirit guides and things like this, intuitives, sticking with the theme of energy, ancestral patterns, challenges, everything's energy, everything. We may not be aware of it and our mind can't easily comprehend it in the logical linear sense, but it is living in us. And I believe as we evolve and allow that telepathy, understanding, respect for the ancestors as it lives through us, we will understand that we are so much more than an individual body, that we are a thread in a universal tapestry. And as this, our unique thread is woven and kept strong, this beautiful tapestry is created and woven and connected to what I would call universal consciousness, or Carl Jung would call the collective. And so through our own space making, through our own cleaning, through our own breath, we do upload new neural pathways to the collective. We can also download it from there.
Mhm.
um, and it's easier than some of us might think.
Mhm. Hey, Chander.
Sander,
Welcome.
hi.
Tracy says sweat lodges, yes, are great with helping with ancestral healing. Mm. Yeah.
We look forward
And
to
so, yes, we look forward to our sweat lodge. So we're about time, and I'd like to, have us share, what are some practical steps to self self clean this month? Begin that
Mm.
process.
I think part of it is first writing down or acknowledging the backlog. What do I have too much of in my life? What can I clean out? That's we've got some friends, Anita and Cheryl. They do feng shui and they clean out spaces. So we can start by cleaning out our mental space, which then has us having this desire to clean out our physical space, or vice versa. But I think the first step is acknowledging how we're feeling.
Mm.
Can we breathe for a minute just to acknowledge what we're feeling without going into story and judgment about why we're feeling it? That's the trick
Mm.
part for human beings, is really,
Mm.
I think, cleaning out the judgments and the diagnosis, is, I think, the most major one.
Mm. Yeah, thank you for that. For me, it's, yeah, carving out the time, setting time aside to tend to the most important relationship is with myself and my connection to Source, Creator, God. And a big part of it, as I connect to myself, is owning my experience, owning all of it. And when I mean that, is becoming the observer to my feelings, to even the stories that might be playing out. Oh, interesting. So that I can see where it comes from.